Well, hey there, happy day. Welcome to day 891 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the offline brick and mortar world to the online world of business. Had the opportunity a couple of years ago to stop everything that I was doing in the past and in my life as part of my divorce. Needed to divest myself of all my assets or split them up with the ex-husband and decide what I wanted to do. And I've always been curious about the online world, and I thought, okay, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do online and duplicate what I've done offline. And at this point, I've got 47 years of different business experiences, including over a quarter century in corporate America, working for some of the coolest companies on the planet, actually, some of the coolest, biggest corporations, and also some of the most interesting family-run, family-owned businesses. So businesses in different size, businesses in different industries, the whole gamut, run the whole gamut of different experiences that I've had in the business world. So I thought, well, done all this stuff, now I have the freedom to do kind of what I want, where I want, when I want, with whomever I want, wearing whatever I want. And maybe sometimes I show up in my pajamas still, like today, maybe not. And I want to explore that. I want to figure this out. And so I jumped in and started realizing that it was different. There's many similarities with the offline. I call it the real world of business. There's many similarities, but there's many differences as well. And thus the title of this particular video, F. And I'm not going to say the F word because I don't need to. I know some people like to say it for effect. I don't really need to. I don't need to say the F word. But I think everybody knows when I say F and some asterisks and things, exactly what I mean. And I mean F, scarcity, lack, jealousy, greed, competition, doubt, worry, fear, all of the negative emotions and negative crap and all the things that we build up online as the way to do things. I say F it all because I think it's wrong. I think it is ridiculous that we create as online people and online marketers. I don't consider myself an online marketer. I just happen to do what I do, and I have an online component to that. And that's what I teach other people to do as well. But this whole build-up of I have to create some valuable content, put it out there, but only put it up there temporarily so people take advantage of it and then buy my thing. Hate that. So sick of seeing it. And I've been doing challenges for at least a couple of decades, probably longer, but for decades. And I put my content out there and I share it with people and I leave it up there. If people want to find out how to do any of the things that I've taught in a challenge, guess what? All they have to do is search a little bit and they can find it. It's out there. It's still out there. I'm doing a 40-day get up and go challenge right now. And all the content is still there. It's day 37 today. I just completed that video. But anybody who wants to can go to the Get Up and Go Challenge page now until Facebook decides that it's going to disappear or take it down, and they can find that content. They can go back if they just discovered, oh, day 37, what the heck is this? They can go back and they can start on day 1. I actually have a 30-day challenge on that same page that I did in the month of April to help people to overcome all the crap that was coming down on each and every one of us with respect to the changes and challenges of COVID-19. Whatever our situation, almost every one of us on the planet was affected and impacted by this pandemic. So I hate that people put up these temporary challenge pages for 5 days, but it's really 10 because they're going to give you 3 days of partial content and then they're going to give you 7 days of selling. Really? We can't see through this? 7 days. Now, I just did participate in one that I thought was really good. Actually, it was about telling your story, your brand story. And what she did is she did the content, and of course she had the same scarcity. She took it down. She's got all the pages, but she did teach a lot of cool different things that were unique and special about the way she works with people. And then she did 5 days of going through and giving people feedback the next week instead of doing different things and just selling every day. She went through her process and demonstrated her process of how she works with people to hone in and give them feedback on the things that she taught the first week, which I thought was really valuable. Of course, I didn't buy her product and service because it's not something that I need for myself and my business right now, but I really enjoyed the content. Although, like everybody else, it's scarce and it's gone, and if you didn't take advantage of her special offer, it's not going to be available again until after her 8-week program. And again, of course, it'll be available again because that's how she's going to start launching her product and service. That's how she's going to sell, just through challenges. Now, I've actually taught people how to do that, how to set up their own challenge and add value to people, and then if they want to work with you more. And it's not, I'm being a little cynical about it, but it's not always a bad thing, but it's starting to be old, and people are starting to say, okay, it's coming off just as salesy. And it's a strategy. It's a strategy. It's not a strategy. It's a technique that is so powerful. I hate to see it being used in ways that are short term and just to get what somebody wants for their business, or you know, to sell more of their product and service. Okay, rant over. I'm also doing, as part of my own challenge, I'm personally going through the different 7 areas of my life and working on each of them. And one of the areas that has come up, or several that go together, are emotional, spiritual, contribution, and how those come together. And part of what I'm doing is I'm going through Lynn Grabhorn's playbook, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. And I went through it following my sudden cardiac arrest in 2011. It was really, really powerful. And so I thought, I picked it up for a couple of things as I was working on this challenge. And I'm like, I need to do this book again. This is actually the perfect time for me to go through all of the exercises in the playbook again. So I'm doing that. So maybe that's part of why I'm a little ramped up about so much focus on the negative in our world and in our society. And that's an absolute positive, individual, personal choice. And you might be saying, well, it's not my fault. I'm a victim. I can't, which is, you know what, kind of thinking. I can't do anything about this because the world is so negative around me. That's all I see. And that's how I'm going to be as well. That's how I'm going to show up in the world. Guess what? That's such a cop-out. Each and every one of us has the ability to say, no, I'm not going to participate. Now, I'm just like every other human being. For lots of my life, for literally decades, I was sucked into the swirling world of chaos around me. And what I thought other people thought I should do. I thought other people's thoughts and beliefs and feelings were kind of mine, right? I thought that what my ex-husband thought I should do sometimes was more important than what I thought I should do. Ridiculous, right? To think about it now and to look back at the past and like, how goofy was that? But I was talking with my son about this yesterday, I think. We do the best we can with what we've got at any given time. But it's always our responsibility and our personal option to decide to do better, to decide to learn more, to grow, to find out more, to figure out, how can I turn this situation around? How can I feel better about this? How can I versus I can't? I absolutely despise, thank you to my father, the words can't, because my entire life he taught my sisters and I, there's no such thing as can't. And here's a man that grew up extremely poor. We're talking dirt poor, and created more abundance in his life and more abundance for us than I'm sure that he could even have imagined. And he helped more people while he was alive than I'm sure he ever thought possible. But each and every one of us have the ability to do that, you know, and we can't say, and yeah, our circumstances make a difference. They make it harder for each and every one of us. But I'm not going to say I haven't been through a bunch of crap too, and I could have rolled over and given up and said, I'm a victim, poor me, nothing's ever going to work out for me, and where would my life be now versus where it is now? So I'm pushing back against, and again, I think it's because of one of the exercises, several of the exercises in Lynn Grabhorn's playbook that push me to focus and look at the amount of negative emotions and negative words versus positive words and positive emotions, and how we experience each of those differently. And that each and every one of us has the ability at any given moment to flip from anger to something less. What would be something less negative than anger? To just acceptance. You know, I'm mad about this situation, but is being mad about a situation contributing to it? Is it contributing to solutions in any positive way? No, probably not. So maybe I just decide that, all right, this bad thing happened. It is what it is. Now, how am I going to respond? What am I going to do about it to turn it around, or to change it, or to find ways that I'm not so angry about it, or I'm not mad about it, because I can't change anything that happened in the past. So I'm thinking about negative words and the massive amounts of negativity in our lives and in our worlds and how we are inundated with it, but we have the ability to kind of create a little bubble or a shield around ourselves to just say, no, stay out of my life, stay out of here. I am not going to let the negativity of other people and the world around me, impact me, my person, my human beingness, my life experience. It's not gonna. And so, guess what? Pretty much doesn't, right? Very few things compared to other people get into my life, get into my bubble and piss me off or get me frustrated about things. Now, technology, I still get frustrated about. I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten light years better, but I know that things just don't work sometimes. There's not a platform, there's not a product, there's not a service that always performs exactly as it's designed. They just don't. And so if we're expecting them to, we're bound to be frustrated. So technology is no different. Why would I ever expect that every time I go on the computer to do something, it's always going to be the same? It's not. Everything in our lives is always changing. And when we figure that out, we go with the change. We go with the flow of our life instead of pushing against it and resisting that change. That's part of what the Get Up and Go Challenge is all about. How do you make it automatic that you positively come out of everything that you face, and instead of it chipping away at you and making you weaker, it absolutely positively makes you stronger and catapults you toward the things that you want. That's what I like to do. So Get Up and Go Challenge, fun challenge, 365 day, do one fun thing every day challenge. Day 180, I want to say one today. Nope, 182, day 182 today. And it was fun. It was all about shocking your parents. Well, my parents, my dad's passed away and my mom's pretty old. I'm not sure I'm going to totally shock her, but I'll come up with a way to kind of find a way to shock her today. But I'm going to actually shock my kids because it's a lot more fun or maybe my granddaughter. And not in a bad way, in a funny way. It's a fun challenge. It's not a shock and harm someone challenge. It's a fun challenge. So I'll find a fun way to surprise and shock my granddaughter, surprise and shock my kids because they're home for a week for the holiday week. From last week, they're home for a week for the Independence Day celebration in the United States, and to just come home because it's awesome to see them. Haven't seen them since March, beginning of COVID, and so I was really excited that they could come home before. So I'm going to shock and awe them as part of the fun challenge because it's fun. It's really fun to shock your kids because they don't expect it. They don't expect it of me anyway. And every once in a while, I do shock them, so it's always a good laugh and it's always fun. What else is going on? Oh, so much. So much is going on. I don't want to talk about it. Working on my framework and what I'm working on to put out into the world and who I'm going to serve and what I'm going to work with. Working with a branding mastermind group. And we've got a mastermind call Thursday. So I'm getting ready for that. I've got a coaching student that I need a call back for. And that's about it. That's all I'm going to share right now. I guess when I burst my energy out about something negative and just what I'm pushing against. And again, it's just my thought and my opinion, but I think that there are positive above board ways of doing business and that life isn't all about creating false scarcity. I honestly think that's part of what's wrong with our world right now is that somehow there's been a shift, and maybe it's always been this way. Maybe humanity has always been this way where we believed, and somehow we started to believe that there's just this pie. There's only this one piece of the pie, and if I don't get my piece of the pie, and it means if there's only this much pie and there's 7 point whatever or 8 billion people going after the pie, and there's only this much pie, then I have to carve out and I have to win and someone else has to lose in order for me to get what I want. And nothing could be further from the truth. There's plenty of everything that any of us could ever imagine on this planet. And if there isn't right this instant, guess what? The world and the universe and the planet and humanity, because we're so dang smart, we come up with ways to create more. All the time, every time we turn around, oh, there's not enough water, there's not enough food, there's not enough toilet paper, there's not enough of anything. And I still laugh about the toilet paper thing because my first job out of college was making toilet paper, and I know how that system and that industry works. So, people going to the store and buying up toilet paper and things created a false sense of lack and scarcity. There's always plenty of ways to clean your derriere, even during COVID-19. So that's a sideline. So that's it. That's all I want to talk about today. I will be with you tomorrow. I'll report in maybe a little more clearly what I am actually working on, because a couple projects, and I want to align them more in with the areas I talked about, I think, on Supersize Your Business today. Supersize Your Business today was talking about your cup of tea, darling, and the varieties and the flavors of things that you like. I like a lot of, and I guess we all have this. We all have things that we like, and we have things that we don't like. Guess what? We all get to like whatever kind of tea that we want, and nobody gets to judge us for what kind of tea we like. It's true of every other belief, every other opinion, every other feeling and thought that we have. We get to have our thoughts, we get to do us, and everybody else gets to do them. I think I've talked a lot recently about thinking for yourself. So this is a cup of tea my granddaughter actually made me yesterday. Actually, it has Easter grass in it, and it's caramel, my favorite flavor, she said, and she always makes me caramel tea. She wanted to put cherries in it, but I said no, cherries and caramel not so much, but caramel, yes, always yes to caramel. All right, have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. I actually secretly have a little bit of time right now, so I'm more than happy to help you and answer your questions. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with another update on what's going on in my crazy, chaotic world. And when it's vacation time, it's a little less structured. Okay, a lot less structured than usual. All right, go out, have an awesome day, and I will be with you tomorrow.